Jennifer and Tiffany, instructional coaches in Moffat County School District. You're listening to Pivot, Inspire, Elevate. This podcast is dedicated to helping you pivot instruction, inspire others, and elevate learners at all levels. We believe you should never stop growing, never stop learning, never stop sharing.
Hello. In today's episode, we are going to talk about some EduProtocols because our last session we talked about now I forgot what we talked about. Strategies that appear in all types of lessons. So Tiffany and I got excited because we thought this was a perfect place to add in EduProtocols. And if you're unfamiliar with EduProtocols, we talked about them in a couple of our episodes last year, but great resource for you guys. There are several books, 4 at least, if
there's
not
3
more.
with 1 more coming. So there's these 2, there's a math, and now there's a social studies coming, and then there's a leadership one. But
yeah, so there are a ton of EduProtocol books out there,
and you can Google them, and everybody's done templates.
Yes, that is very true. So we're excited to share some with you guys. So we picked out 4 EduProtocols that we are going to talk about that you can utilize, that can be used for any lesson. All right. So the first one that we are going to share today is called the Ultimate Exit Ticket EduProtocol. And because last time, one of the things we highlighted was reflection and how important that is. That's all this EduProtocol is. It's extremely simple. Every day, each student does a reflection about their day. It can be about any topic of their choosing that they want to share about their learning for the day. So it could be tied to your class. For those of you who have content-related classes, elementary, you can just have it be a summary of their day, however it works for your classroom. But each student reflects on their learning, and then every student has 20 seconds to present their reflection to the class every day.
You're gonna realize the depths of my nerdiness. So before there was EduProtocols, in kindergarten, parents would always say, when they asked their kids what they did today, and they'd say, well, I don't know. And I played with whoever. So I started doing something similar in kindergarten, gave them a sticky note, draw a quick little picture, write a letter, whatever. And then they reflected, what's one thing you did today? What will you walk to the car and tell mom, guess what I did today? So even kindergartners can do this. And then the older they get, they can have journals and whatever. But yeah, but it was really just so they didn't go home and tell their parents. I don't know.
What did you learn today? Nothing.
But it does help them, because kids, I mean, even me, when I start off duty in the morning at 8 a.m., that seems like a lifetime by the end of the day, some days.
Yes.
So that's good for them to do.
Okay, so that one is extremely simple to do. A couple of template examples are pictured on the screen right now.
Yeah, so it could be tech or non-tech.
Yep,
you could literally just have them think about it, or have a sticky. Yeah,
yep.
I do like that. Okay, right. So numbers mania. You do have to be a little more prepared with this one. So we tried to pick a few that you could just pull out of your pocket at any time, and a couple that were a little more in depth. So I love this one. We've all seen these slides and these, what are they, like posters? I don't even know what they call them, but
infographics.
Thank you. They're called infographics. We've all seen these, right? That they get us to tune in, to just pay attention to the facts. So the way you use this in class is it's really a crowdsourcing thing. So you can make it tech oriented in the older grades, where you give them something to read, or you can have them go find something. So they have a topic, like you see some of them on the screen, the Roman history or California Gold Rush, Pearl Harbor. I've seen a lot of history ones, but I'm going to show you a get to know you, or a ones in other areas too. I've seen literature ones where they take information from the story, but it really has to do with numbers. So they have one fact, one number, and then they put that in a Google form. It all gets populated to a spreadsheet. So each student or each group of students pick one fact and one number. They put it in the Google form, it goes to a spreadsheet, or if you have younger ones, you can populate it onto a chart in the room. And then what they do is they get one slide or one poster paper and they look through all the facts and they design their own then. They design an infographic with all the information. So they crowdsource the information, but they've all read it. And you might have a lot of duplicate information, but that doesn't matter. And then they make an infographic about it. And the infographic tells a story. I think that's why they use it a lot in social studies, but I've seen it with literature too. So, the thing to keep it simple, though, is to go to, and you see the links on our screen, the noun project or flat icons, and you can see on those infographics, they're not the colored photographs. I've also seen teachers give kids a slide and they assign the slides and they have all the infographics. I mean, they have all the icons around the edge that they're going to use. So if it's about the Revolutionary War, they have several icons that kids might use right there on the slide so they can just pull them in so that we're not sending kids down the path of searching. And in one of our Google things, we also showed how to search right there in slides and not be going out into the internet. So it's free. So if you're interested in that, it's on our Google slide session on our Tech Lounge.
That's a mouthful.
That was a mouthful. So Numbers Mania. It's a great EduProtocol that if you have a general template ready or the idea in your mind, this could be used quickly at any time. You just have to know how it works. One fact, one number on a chart or in a Google form, share that, and then they each make their own poster slide with that. And so here's an example I was going to this slide was actually in this slide template. And you could use this at the beginning of the year when we're talking about getting to know you.
Yes, this
so
would be a good one.
Here is a Numbers Mania about this, whoever this person is, about their cats. I don't have cats, so I couldn't do that. But I could do, my sister-in-law could. If you know Jamie, she's got tons of animals. She could do an infographic about her animals.
About her animals. That's awesome. One thing I do want to say about EduProtocols is what makes them so easy to use for any topic is you have a template that it doesn't have to be detailed because the idea is the kids are going to make it more detailed.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you just have this simple template, time limits for each part of your project.
Oh, that I did forget to say that.
Yes. Time limits are key for these EduProtocols because then the kids learn, oh, well, I can't mess around because otherwise I'm going to be presenting this half finished.
And that's what they said about Numbers Mania. Mm-hmm. You give them 15, 20 minutes, whatever you decide on finding the information. Mm-hmm. Then you give them 10 minutes to put together their slide. And you can Google them. I've seen tons of slides from very simple to a little more ornate, but it doesn't matter because the point is they're processing the information again and again and again. And then if they really want to, they can make it pretty later, yes. Right? But you give them 10 minutes during class and then that's it. And then the kids can look through them. Jamboard would be a good one for Numbers Mania too. You don't have to use Google Slides.
Yep. So just the idea is you can complete this project in one class period.
Yes.
So the whole from creation to presentation can be completed in one class period.
Yes.
So it doesn't become a project. It's just a simple protocol to get the information in and out.
And they're not so deeply tech oriented that you have to learn something new.
Yep. Okay. All right. So the next one we're going to talk about today is Great American Race EduProtocol. This one comes in two parts. So the first part, you have your topic, whatever it is that you're going to want your students to have information about. So in this case, in this example, there's a vocabulary example, and then there's a famous places in the United States example. So whatever that topic is, every student gets a place or a vocabulary word in these examples that they would have to find facts about or clues to have other people guess what the topic is. Then the second part, the kids get put into groups, and then they have to see which group can be the one to find the answer to all of the clues for each slide in this case, the fastest. That group would be the winner, because that's how Great American Race works. I don't know how many people are familiar with that show. It's a show, right? Like a TV show?
I don't know.
I don't know. At any rate, the Great American Race.
Yeah, it is.
So
they
that
race across the country.
so you
and
get a
complete-
challenge.
Okay.
They complete challenges throughout
Okay,
this thing,
yeah.
and that's basically what this one is about. Your challenge is to solve the mystery of every slide, and you're coming up with the
Oh.
topic of every slide.
We're
So-
going to EduProtocol smash here in a minute.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so the first example, I'm pointing to it, like you guys can see what I'm pointing to. The first example is about vocabulary. So this is the generic template that is given. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. The template does not have to be completely detailed. They have two colors in the background. The left side is where you would put your image or images that show a clue about whatever your topic is. And then on the right, you have this, in this case, you have 5 clues that you're going to put for your vocabulary word. And then in the second part, everybody has to go through using the images and the clues to find the answer. What is the vocabulary word that we're talking about there?
Oh.
Then the example on the right, this one is much simpler. So we have an image on each section that they could choose. And then there's 2 facts on here. So it just depends on what you are requiring for the clues. Like you could require 5 like on the left, you could require 3 like on the right. It's just up to you and the age level of your students.
And this, especially if you have youngers and you're using the image on the right, you're going to use just a lot of images
Yes.
for clues.
Mhm.
Then you really do need to learn how to search
Yes.
in the Google, like in our
Yep.
session.
Yep. So don't let the tech part of
No.
this project scare you. We definitely can help you with ways to make
And
that
it's
pretty
easy. Yeah.
Yep.
It
Yep.
is not
Because the
tech-oriented.
added tech piece to this one to make it easier on the teacher is to have all of the groups submit their answers for each slide on a Google form, and it will automatically grade it for you. So
Yep.
you don't have to go through and look at everybody's answers to see who was the first one to get them all correct. So this one will just be fun, and again, we'll take up 1 class period
Cool.
on your time limits.
So then when you go to mine, so we've all seen the Frayer models. Well, maybe you haven't, so let me explain. So the Frayer model is the 4 squares, and you've typically seen them with vocabulary like you were just describing. So
Yes.
here's a way to protocol smash the 2 together. If you're doing the clues on the Great American Race, then kids could fill out the Frayer model from that.
Mm-hmm.
So the Frayer model and vocabulary, the word goes in the middle, and then they list a definition, they draw a picture, they do examples and non-examples, or a sentence with it. You can put what you want in the 4 corners. The idea is to process the information, right? They're whatever you use the 4 squares for, they're processing your lesson or the word. And so it promotes critical thinking. And Jen already told me she's going to make fun of me, so I don't know if I want to say this, but I did look up, because I know that this is a big one for Hattie. It has got an effect size of 0.6. So this is isn't 0.4 like 1 grade level?
Yes.
So it's above that. So this is a really quick, in your pocket. You don't have to have anything. You can have kids fold a piece of paper in 4.
Yes.
You can have them fold a sticky note in 4, for goodness sakes, or do 4. So here are some examples. So the top, I'm pointing now to the screen as well. The top one is a vocabulary, but I have now seen it, and I'm making my screen bigger so I can see the other ones. There's one with the map on it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a geography one. So on there, they have to, if you're studying Colorado, for instance, because in here we 4th grade studies Colorado, they would color in Colorado. They might tell the capital. You just put different things in every corner for them to process that. What are the biggest bodies of water? What are the landforms? What are whatever? Couldn't each of these be on your Great American Race?
Oh yeah.
And then they take that back
Mhm.
and fill out the Frayer model.
That would be a great way.
Isn't that amazing?
To do that.
Yeah.
I've also seen this one used at the beginning of the year.
Uh-huh.
So like for a friend.
That's what this is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
So there's Frayer. Well, I put on a band or artist, because what I thought was can be used in music,
Oh, yeah, it can be
PE,
used.
a lot of different things. So I loved that one. And then this name a classmate. So you put these clues in there. You've interviewed a classmate, and then they've app smashed it with Kahoot. So then you put the answers to the what's in the four square, whatever you use, Kahoot, or there's lots of different ones like that. You make up your own, and then they play a game guessing who their classmates are.
Yeah.
And so they learn about each other.
Yeah.
I thought that was
So
cool.
the power of this one is it can be utilized again with any topic.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It could be math, could be any topic. You can
Right.
utilize this.
Then there's that one in the middle where it says facts and characteristics, examples, non-examples. So that was vocabulary, but do you see how she has the icons on there too already?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're having kids do that, the more you have just a general thing ready, then the kids don't spend the time searching for stuff. And then they can use that is for the visual example, but it's also could be for, I saw one very much like this in literature. So they used it to talk about the character. And I'm trying to remember what the other literature
Well, you
one I
could
saw.
still have like your 4 things literature related could
Right.
be character setting,
Yeah.
like events.
Right. But it was
Obviously.
comparing two characters, and then they talking about the one. So, you know how you have to analyze the character and tell about
Yep.
their personality. The non-example would be what decisions would they not make? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be used in any content area in the back of your pocket, whatever you want kids to process about it. And I've also seen those 4 squares be different DOK levels or different levels on Bloom's. So it's identify and it's analyze, and it's, they just do the different things. And then the other smash, the protocol smash, was with Frayer Model and Iron Chef.
Oh, I love
and I know
Iron
you're,
Chef.
so I'm going to let you explain how that would work with Iron Chef, because you love Iron Chef.
So the Iron Chef is the game. So it has whatever you're asking them to do everybody has the same ingredients, but then you make with it what you will. So in this one, I'm trying to see the example here.
I wonder if we could pull this here. Let me pull this down.
It looks like everybody gets the same vocabulary words. And then you're Frayer modeling those vocabulary
4
words.
students, 4 slides, 4 different words, and then they share out. So it's a unit review.
Oh, so it looks like the different words.
The different words.
So
the ingredients are the 4 squares.
Yes.
Yep. And so they all have to have the same 4 things in the 4 squares.
Yep. So that would be a perfect smash.
Yeah. And fast.
And fast.
And then you're not having each kid do 5 vocabulary words. Right?
I like that it says study guide. So this is a study guide.
Yeah, it's underneath that, so she can't see that because it's not updating. But it's study guide, unit review,
Yeah. So then the kids have made their own study guide, and then they have what they need to study for your test.
Yeah. And you're not taking a class period with them doing 8 vocabulary words. They're each doing one.
They're each doing theirs.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Those are quick and easy. The only one that I think you have to kind of be prepared ahead of time is the numbers mania, because you have to have the stuff you want them to read from. You don't want to spend a lot of time.
I think either way, like everyone we chose is easy to use.
Yes, the protocol is easy to use.
The protocol is easy. There might be some prep to some of them, but once you start doing these, you're going to have a main template anyway.
Correct.
So
and the idea in your pocket.
Yep. Perfect. Love it. All right.
So much fun.
All right.
So
I think we're ready.
We are. We're going, but I made it small, so
I can't see the notes.
I can't see where we are in our notes here.
Okay. So we today talked about 4 different EduProtocols. And of course, now that I need to tell you about them, I need to make sure I remember. The Ultimate Exit Ticket, Numbers Mania, Great American Race, and then the Frayer EduProtocol. All easy to use. And if you guys are interested in learning more EduProtocols or doing one of the ones that we shared, be sure to reach out to us. We would love to help you get that going.
Yeah. So thanks for listening to Pivot, Inspire, and Elevate with Tiffany and Jennifer, where each episode we explore strategies in Marzano's model of instruction. And as we talked about in our last episode about using strategies that appear in all types of lessons, protocols fit right in there. They're additional strategy that add novelty, that add fun. And we hope you're inspired by these examples shared in this bonus episode.
So if you found this episode helpful or gave you something to think about, leave a rating and a comment, share it with others, and don't forget to subscribe. Ring the bell so you know when a new episode is released. And you can also head over to the Tech Lounge to check out other resources. We'll catch you next time.
And remember, never stop growing, never stop learning, never stop sharing.